NV Board Gaming, and today we're looking at Porta Nigra. This is a 2 to 4 player game published by Eggerspiel and Stronghold Games and designed by Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling. Nick is going to give an overview of how you play, and then we're going to give our
All right, everyone, welcome to the table for a 2-player game of Porta Nigra. Let's run through a little bit of what you're doing in this game. First thing we're going to do is check to see if we have at least 7 bricks. To start the game, we have at least 14, so we know we're good there. We're going to go ahead and skip that phase, but just know at the end of every round, we make sure that we have at least 7 out there. If not, we go ahead and flip one of these tokens and then do what it says on this. But we've already done that to set up the game, so there's 4 stacks here that we've already done and put out these bricks accordingly. So you can see there's various colors that correlate with what colored bricks they are, and there's a cost associated with those as well, and it's listed on your little board here. So the most expensive is the white brick because it can also be exchanged for anything, but the white brick is the most expensive. It's going to give you the most victory points as well. We also have some bonus actions listed on here if you ever want to take a look at that. It's just anytime actions right there. They can do some exchanges. We're going to start the game with $20 or 20 sesteri each, and we're going to have also this lantern right here. This torch, I should say. We'll get one of those tokens. So on your turn, what your actions you're doing after you replenish is that we are going to draw 2 cards to start the game, and these torches indicate how many of these actions we can take. So if I were to pick this card, I have 2 of these actions. I could spend an additional torch if I want to do a third, but what it's saying is, and I'll just go over every action because there's not a terribly many. This one is to earn a brick. So you have this little horseman here. He's going to go around clockwise. To start the game, you just put in any quarter. There are 4 quarters of the board. So if I want to start here, actually, I probably wouldn't because there has a minimum of 3 bricks here. So I might start, let's say I start right here. And I could buy this blue, because this is the blue brick. This is where you can buy the blue bricks. I can buy the blue brick for whatever cost it is. In this case, $2. You can see on your board, like I said, $2 for a blue one. Do that action, and I would mark that. I'm doing that. So I would spend $2 to the bank and take a blue. I'll just put one of those bricks right there, showing that I have a blue brick. And that's one action I do. And I can get a scroll here, or I can go ahead and build that blue brick. Let's say I build it just to cover that action. I am going to go ahead and build it, and that means you put a Roman on top of your building. And if I had a stack of blue, I could do that too, based on where you're at. So if I had 2 of these, I can take up a spot that shows 2 blue bricks, but instead I have 1. So I'm going to go ahead and claim this. It says on the board it's 2 victory points. So I do that, and I claim it with my Roman right there. 2 victory points. And I did 2 actions, so I am done. I could draw my next card for my next round, so I have 2 in my hand. And then my opponent goes. So let's go over some more actions now that you know what a turn looks like. Also, next turn, if I don't want to stay here, I can always pay a coin to move to the next quarter, but I have to go clockwise. Let's see, this is one we just did. So this one was get a scroll. The scrolls, I didn't set it up, but there are a bunch of cards that will come out here. There'll be 14 cards. There are cards that correlate with where you build on top that I'll go over soon as well. So I can always spend scrolls for these 14 cards that are out here. So if I wanted to spend one, if I wanted to earn one and spend it as an anytime action, I can go ahead and do that to get a yellow brick for that scroll and this card. And it goes on. There's a bunch of things you can do with these. So just take a look at all that. Some of them cost 2. You can see these are heavy victory points on some of them, but it does require a lot of work. This would be the first heavy victory point, 1 that you would earn. That has to do with the top. So if you were to trade in a set of these landmarks and 2 of these scrolls, you get 30 victory points end of the game. So you're essentially trading in things to get this victory points. And then from there, you can even upgrade that to a 42 if you were to trade in other things. So those come out. There are 14. At the end of the round, you're going to replenish when there's not 14, or if any of those were taken up top too. So let's go over those. So I put a blue brick in this landmark area. So there's a little, you see these buildings on the corner of each quarter. And these have those buildings depicted and a color brick. So you can see those buildings are depicted here and the color brick. So when you build one, you can claim one of these cards when you build that color brick in that landmark. You can go ahead and claim that because those will be victory points you can see as sets, or you can trade them in for one of those scrolls that I showed you. Let's look at some more actions here. We're going to go back and forth doing actions, so you might want to know what this is. Just gaining a torch, for instance, gaining money. Here you have to earn you have to buy a red brick. And I should mention when you buy from these, like this mystery one right here, you can buy from where you're at, or you can buy one of these white ones. But the white ones cost $5 each, 5 sestertii. I keep saying dollars, so you know what I mean. And that looks like that covers that. We all start with the same deck of cards, and you can see it changes. In a 2 or 3 player game, you would have this card, but if you're playing a 4 player game, this card is excluded. In a 2 player game, also, you're playing 3 rounds, whereas if you're in a 3 or 4 player game, you're only playing 2 rounds, and that tracker is up here, this little canoe right here. So that's the difference in the game. A round consists of going through all your cards, and you're going to play 3 rounds in a 2 player game. At the end of the game, you're also going to have majorities. Also keep in mind there's these master builder spots here, and it says for each of them, if you put every 3 bricks that are yours, you will get this bonus. So I only did 1 brick here, so I don't worry about that. I need 2 more to get this bonus white brick in my area. Yep, and that would pretty much cover what you're going to do here, and that is how you play Porta Nigra. Hey everyone, welcome back for our review of Porta Nigra. So this game is feeling like it is, on the board it looks a little dry, but surprisingly easy to teach. Mm-hmm. Those type of games usually are not that easy to teach. This one doesn't have that many symbols. You can learn them pretty quickly. You just go to the place and do the actions, really. You're in front of these bricks, you can buy these bricks, or the white ones. And that's in every situation. What I like about this game a lot is our little player board. It's actually really neat how you can put the bricks in these different things, and it makes it simple to teach. All the bricks are the same, essentially, until you just figure them out when you get them on your little tableau board. Now this is a white brick because I put it here. I don't know, I just like that design. It's clever to make things that aren't unique all of a sudden unique just by moving them in these spots on your board. And having better values on different things. And the whites can be wild as well. So it gives you some variability. Different spots on the board, pay different things. And you're trying to go through so many different options here. Where you want to go, what kind of points you want to max out in this spot. Can you get, in this spot, you can get that card if I traded this brick. And different things you're trying to focus on, which I always like. A lot of decisions and figuring out when you want to move and pay that money. Money feels tight. At first it doesn't. Like, how am I going to go through all this money? But all of a sudden you're buying all these things and money gets tight.
Yeah, and paying to move too. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're taking actions that just give you money. Mm-hmm. The torches are clever. You can use usually 1 less than the actions provided on your card. The game struggles where it feels a little dated in that this game, it's just ripe for deck building. It is ready for it. It just feels like this should be a deck builder. I should get different cards in my hand. I should be able to pick actions. Yeah. Not just rely on this set of starter cards.
And the torches, yeah.
And and I feel that is lacking. It feels older than it is because I believe this is a 2015 game and it feels like a 2007 game-ish. So there's that where I feel like it just missed the mark there. But overall, I do like the game. It's a simple game. It's not heavy at all. It forces you to make some decisions. It's not pretty on the table at all. Just know that, and you can see that with my playthrough. But I do like the brick components. I think that's pretty cool. And,
I love them.
Yeah. And for overall rating, I'm going to give it a 7/7, docking it for, just having those starter cards. And you're kind of stuck with that all game, and you're making do. But it still plays really well, and I do recommend you try it. It does go on sale quite often, so if you do see it on sale, I would say don't shy away from it. You can go ahead and safely buy it if you have room for it and the money.
Yeah, I enjoy this game. I like to play it I enjoy the fact that you do have to think about what actions you're going to play on the card. You do have a choice of cards to play, so it's not like you just draw a card as you see in Nick's overview. You're not just drawing a card and like, oh, this is what I have to do. And I enjoy that there is some direction with respect to where you want to put the bricks, but maybe it doesn't always work out, like based on the brick supply. Like maybe you don't have those bricks that you need, so you got to find something else to do. Instead of focusing on the cards at the top that you're trying to achieve, like by putting that green brick on that Colosseum or doing that, because that's an interesting thing, because otherwise, all right, you're just placing and trying to get the points that are out on the board, but there's a little more to it, which is enjoyable. And the fact that you can get those cards at the bottom, little bonus things that can help you achieve different things, is always fun for me. The way that the bricks come out, we were laughing when we were playing, because Nick was pretty much the only person making these things reveal for a while, where you refresh the market of bricks. And I was celebrating, because it's kind of a bummer when you're the one who has to cause that to come out, because you don't get first dibs on the new brick selection. And so there are times that you really need a certain color of brick, or you're far away, and you got to do a lot of like, oh, I'm gonna lose like 5 coins moving around this thing. So it's just interesting that you have all these choices about these bricks, and I like the little, as I said, I love these little bricks that you get to hold in your hand, and they're different than other components that you see when you see a brick and it's just a little red block or something, and you're like, oh, that's exciting. These are actually like bricks. So my score is an 8.1. I enjoy playing the game. I like it, and I recommend it to get it, because I think it has a neat look to it on the table, and it's really simple to learn. And sometimes you just can't have all these heavy games, especially if you're bringing in people into the hobby. I feel like you can lose people really fast when you're going through like a 20-minute explanation of how to play.
There's that, but then there's the counter that this game isn't one that you want to introduce to new players, because it doesn't look the part. It's not one that you're going to impress somebody with. They're not going to be like, oh wow, like, oh wow, I have a standee and I get to get these bricks, and it's like it doesn't glow like, let's say, Everdell, like, oh, there's bunny rabbit here, and he's living in this tree.
There's no cute animals in this, so
no, yeah, it's lacking in that department for sure. But that's 2 recommendations. Yeah,
definitely check it out. Let us know in the comments below what you think about this game, and like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel, and we will see you next time.
Adios.
Bye.